How's it going, everybody? Mr. Holton here. And yes, as you saw in the title and thumbnail, we have yet another update to look forward to. Now, however, this update has not been released yet, of course, for Baldur's Gate 3. But Larian is working on this update in particular, which will be the update 2, the second update, after the first massive update that they released just the other day that fixed over 1,000 bugs and other issues. Now I'm just gonna head right into this community update and read it for you guys to see what Larian has planned. I've seen yet again that this one has some spoilers, so I will be skipping over those and just go over to the meaty stuff without, completely spoiling everything for you, especially when it comes to Act 3 of Baldur's Gate 3. So, in the community update, they say, hello all, since launching last month, a lot of tweaks and updates can already be seen in Baldur's Gate 3. Over the past few weeks, we've chased down bugs, polished up some cinematics, and used your feedback to help organize our thoughts about and inform our plans going forward. The first major patch just launched, solving over 1,000 bugs to hopefully make Baldur's Gate 3 an even better experience, but it was still a patch designed primarily to squash bugs. Now, I've tried the patch out. It feels so much better. There are several things that thankfully have been fixed. I'm not going to say what, but yeah, it's definitely noticeable. We want to go further beyond that. We now find ourselves at a time where we're able to properly sit down and consider how to parse feedback beyond bug fixing and UX tweaks. Patch 2 is just around the corner, and while it does include bug fixes, it also includes substantial performance improvements for the first time since launch. Perhaps more notably, we're adding better closure to the story's final act in the form of more fleshed out endings, or one ending at least, it seems like, for Karlach, something many of you have been asking for. Now, in order not to spoil too much, yes, the people have had some issues with some of the companions in the game when it comes to like their finales or the closing ends to their endings, the companion endings, so to speak. And Karlach is one of them, of course. So it's cool that they're they're taking this feedback and they're working on something new for her especially. I'm hoping they're working for some of the other companions as well, but I think Karlach is definitely one of those characters that were mostly in need of sort of a rework, and I just love Larian for doing this, that they're actually like working like out something else or something different or adding something. That's just so cool. In any case, let's continue. Before we get ahead of ourselves, let's take a moment to focus on a conversation some of you have been having in the background. Many of the points that come out of this conversation are being funneled into the umbrella term of cut content. So we thought it would be helpful to give you some clarity about what we think about the future of Baldur's Gate 3. Now, yes, again, this is something that has come up quite a few times. When it comes to cut content, there's been a lot of talk about that when it comes to Act 3, and there seems to be tons of things that they just couldn't add to the game, seemingly because they just didn't have time, because they would never get finished with the game if they did, and just things that maybe didn't fit. I'm not going to read all of that because some of this might be a little bit spoilery. So yeah, parts of this, what they're saying here is that the scale of the city of Baldur's Gate itself is, that's why they had to cut away some content. You can read of course, the community update if you want to, the entire thing, without it being too blurred and stuff. So yeah. But I'm going to skip over that for a bit. Of course, they mentioned that they're going to be fixing some bugs. We've seen reports about Act 3, and we are as frustrated as you are by bugs spoiling the experience. So we're dedicated to solving these quickly, as we've already seen with the first big patch the other day, patch 1. And together with this, they also mention Patch 2 looks to further eliminate some of the more major issues, including those found in Act 3. Some things that are currently being associated with cut content are actually things like companion reactions to events in the world that didn't trigger. These are being solved. Where there seems to be loose ends, we're tying them up. That's something that I've noticed myself when I was playing through the final act, let's say, and there were several times where I was noticing that things were just not meshing as well, and there were some quest lines or stories that just didn't really seem resolved. So that's good to know that it seems like a lot of these are seems to be bugged at the moment. So it's good to know that they're working hard to fix it. I just love the transparency here. And then we have some, technical stuff, and then we have some more spoilery stuff. So don't read that if you can. So I scrolled down for a bit here so as not to spoil too much, like right above this. We feel confident that there's enough content in Baldur's Gate 3 in the city itself, clocking in weeks-long playthroughs at a time, but that's not to say that Baldur's Gate 3 didn't see cuts just as every other game. It's just important to know that they're ultimately shipped, that what ultimately shipped was planned long ago in function primarily of making Baldur's Gate 3 fun to play, not for us to close development quickly. Baldur's Gate 3 is a game with many release dates, and despite us moving its launch up by around a month, it's still a couple years late. It was late because we grew teams, ambition, and ideas in function, and it being the best game it could possibly be. Thankfully, not every idea makes it into the final launch. It wouldn't be the game you enjoy if they did. So yeah, that's a good point to make. Not every piece of content is the best type of content. Sometimes you just gotta leave stuff be because sometimes you just gotta leave some stuff out because it just wouldn't make sense, or it just would make some things feel more bloated than it needs to be. But then also it's, as I mentioned before, it seems like some of these things that are happening in the game that seem to be cut content aren't actually cut content. So it's good to know that they're actually fixing that. We're happy that Baldur's Gate 3 has resonated with a great many of you, but we'll never take that for granted. We're committed to tying up loose ends, fixing the remaining bugs, and improving things where we see they could and should be improved. And of course, they're asking for feedback. So if you guys have any feedback for Larian, then go ahead and tell them over on their launcher or on Steam or on their official webpage as well, because, they really do listen. And here are three things, it seems like, that they're going to focus on right now. First, we'll keep on monitoring what bugs you encounter, and we'll make sure to patch them as fast as we can, which is great. Second, we'll start making improvements based on the feedback you're giving us. Baldur's Gate 3 means so much to a great deal of you, and in turn, that means to the world to us. We love this game, and we're not done with it yet. We welcome your feedback, your threads, and also your words of encouragement. That's great. Now, this one. This is something I know people have been hoping for, me especially. Wither's Wardrobe of Wayward Friends. What a name. Which we hope to launch very soon as an example of us integrating your feedback. This feature allows you to get rid of co-op party members who join your campaigns. You can continue on without them. Can't swear, YouTube. Thank God. Thank you, Larian. Please, this is one thing that I haven't seen the mentioning yet until now. It's so good to see that they're listening, because that is an issue in Baldur's Gate. If you invite a friend to play with you, they can never leave your campaign. They're stuck with you. You cannot move them out of your team unless, well, no, I don't know. I don't think there's a way to do it even. So you're stuck with your squad mate, even if you kill them. Or your co-op friend, if you kill their character and they're not online, if you try to get rid of them that way, it doesn't work. You're stuck with them. So it's good to you're finally going to be able to switch them out. If you're stuck with a friend's character in your party, praise Larian. Thank you. And also, this one is also massive. This is huge. It's something that Larian has mentioned that they're cooking. We're also working on the ability to change your character's look once you've started a campaign, though we don't have a release date for that yet. So they're working on a system for you to be able to change your character's looks. What this means, like if you can change your race, I don't think so. I'm assuming that this is going to be like mostly just cosmetics, like change your hairstyle, maybe change your face, change your the general aesthetics of your character. But I wouldn't say that you will probably not be able to change your race, because that is pretty important when it comes to how your character is received throughout the game world. But who knows? Maybe they're able to pull it off. There will be more, and you can expect us to come with modding support at some point too. Great. Awesome. I can't wait for all the mods. In any case, that's basically everything that they had to say with this update. So yeah, I'm skipping over a bunch of text there because I don't want to specifically, again, spoil stuff for you guys who haven't even played the game. I know there's a lot of you waiting on PlayStation, but yeah. So in case you're one of those people who haven't played the game yet, who's still waiting for the PlayStation version, just know there are gonna be ways like this wait, Wither's wardrobe of wayward friends. You're gonna be able to move your real life friends out of your party when they're offline, and you are gonna be able to change the looks of your character mid game, which is great. This is awesome news. Do let me know what you guys think of this this little update, this little community update. This is great news. I just love how transparent Larian is. I'm super excited for what's in the future for Baldur's Gate 3. Let's just be perfectly honest. Like the amount of work Larian has put into this and that they keep putting into this and the transparency, it's just all around great. I love it. That's all for today. Thank you for watching. Mr. Olton signing out.